Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. It is so rocking to be back with all of you. Well, I got to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who went out with me yesterday on our adventure. We had such a great time. I had so much fun at Michael's, and I tell you, it's been inspiring creativity ever since. I also want to say thank you and give a big shout out to all of you for your wonderful support and kind words during this trying time. Psychic Bob might be down, but he ain't beaten. And I'm rising, I resurrect. You know, Psychic Bob always comes back. So I'm doing pretty well, and things are slowly working together. So that's all I can say right now, but everything is getting a little better. Anyways, I wanted to come and bring to you some new art today. Now, as I told you, I was going to show you some of my new artworks. So check this out. This is my newest painting. It's part of my biomorph series. I'm doing a series now of paintings that are like amoebas or I call them biomorphs. And this one here, it's I forget the size of it. I think it's a 16 by 20 size painting. It's done on canvas and it's done with acrylics. And the idea of this is, you know, at the subatomic, or at the microscopic level, there exists amoebas and various, you know, microbiological life forms. And I think it's a whole fascinating universe unto itself. So this is my newest biomorph painting. And I thought you guys would like to see it. As I said, it's done in acrylic. It's kind of hard. I got a lot of glare from the light. I don't have very good lighting in here, so I'm doing the best I can. But you can see it's got on a deep field. I want to kind of create a kind of a cool, watery background. So it's mixed with greens and blues and blacks. And here's our main subject. It's an amoeba surrounded by other expressions and expansions of that amoebic biomorphic life form. So anyways, I just want to come and share this with you. This is going to be hanging in my hallway outside my bedroom. I just wanted some color there. The area's a little dark and needs a little better lighting, a little more color. So that's going to be in the hallway soon once I move it. Anyways, I hope you guys like that. Now, those of you who were with me for yesterday's video, you remember seeing this vase. I ended up buying this vase from Michael's. And as I was mentioning in yesterday's video, I love it because it's in what we call a brutalist style. Brutalism is like rough edges, raw concrete, raw stone. It's very kind of natural and rough, but has a beauty in and of itself in the textures. And this vase is going to go with my new style. For those of you who have been here, in fact, let me show you something. Hold on just a second here. I'll get you another painting to demonstrate more on brutalism. For those of you who have been here at my channel a while, you'll recognize this painting. This painting is done in a brutalist style. Hopefully you can see the paint textures, but it's done in a very rough form with a lot of texture. It's very, you know, kind of geometric, very stone-like. This is a style which is also brutalist in its depiction. So let's see if you can see that. Can you see the textures? It's hard to film this, but it's got kind of a rough surface. Anyways, this brutalist style is going to be predominant throughout my home. Right now I've got down here another little canvas board. I'm working on creating a textured surface for it. And what I'm using is I've got some black paint and I've watered it down with water to make it a thin, almost like a stain. And I'm literally applying that to this canvas to create a textured surface that looks something like concrete when it's done. So this is one of my little artworks. I'm experimenting in all sizes, and this one's not done yet, but it's getting started, and I'll show you that as we go along. I've also been experimenting with subtlety and color, and this is one that I worked on today. It's still drying. It's in production, but you notice how I used black in it, but it's actually almost a gray. It's a stain on the canvas. And I've added a little red dot and green dot. Very simple, but I think creates a pretty powerful effect. This is also an 11 by 14 size. So anyways, I'll have more of that when it's ready. It's still in production. Now, here's one of my other new paintings that I recently finished, and this is called 3 Gold Bricks, and it's done in a minimalist, abstract, kind of brutalist style also. As we zoom in on this, you can see the rough textured surface. I'm really enjoying exploring texture right now. It's kind of hard to see. I don't have the best lighting, but the concept is that these 3 images are gold: yellow gold, white gold, and rose gold. And it just represents the presence of gold. That's all there is to it. Anyways, so 3 Gold Bricks is the name of this one. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy seeing that. What do you think? Oh, also speaking of brutalist style, I just recently acquired this as well. It's called a glass architectural brick. These are used in buildings. A lot of times they build entire walls out of these. When I was a kid, my father used to do construction. He would bring me home samples of these sometimes. This one's not from him. This is one that I recently bought from a glass dealer. But I just think it's really cool because it looks kind of like either iced over concrete or cracked ice or kind of frost. And it's about 8 inches by 8 inches. What is it? Yeah, about 8 inch by 8 inch square. It's really heavy. It's solid glass, frosted edges, slightly greenish tint to it. A lot of these architectural bricks have a kind of a green glass tint, but I just think it's really cool. And I've put it here on my fireplace mantle, along with my recently acquired Costa Boda frosted ice brick votives. And when I saw this big one, I thought, that just really works with these little Costa Boda ones I have. These are really heavy. If you guys are into glass, you'll know Costa Boda. They're out of Sweden. They make beautiful, beautiful glass. And this brick was actually, it's American made. It's nice to see stuff made in the United States. It's so rare these days, but this was American made glassware. And anyways, I think it makes a great decorative sculpture. And it's really starting to bring in that kind of modern, minimalist, brutalist style that I'm just crazy about. So there you go, something else to see. Now, I told you we'd do a little bit of talking about UFOs today, and I want to bring up a subject that seems to be recurring in my letters. A lot of you have been writing to me and saying, Psychic Bob, I think I've seen a UFO. I was out walking and I know that this was not an airplane. Is it possible that I really saw a UFO? And the answer is absolutely yes. You see, I believe that the alien presence is already on the Earth. And it's not like they're all traveling from outer space. They already have bases here on Earth. So they're flying back and forth just like we see airplanes. So if you are sure you've seen a UFO, and let me tell you, once you see one, you'll know it. The chances are that, yes, you most likely saw a UFO. Okay, so don't doubt yourself. You know, the best thing you can do is carry a camera with you, try to capture it, but also keep a little notebook with a record. You know, the day that you saw it, the date, the time, where you were, estimate about how high in the sky it was or its location. Was it in the east, the west? Was it above trees or power lines? Was it over a house? You know, details around what you saw. What was the shape of the craft? Did it glow? Was it metallic? Was it opaque? You know, what did it look like? Try to capture as many details as you can. And as I always say, you know, if photographic evidence is one of the best evidences. So keep your cell phones or cameras with you and really try to make an effort to capture it. That's really important. Capturing and documenting. You know, once you actually see a UFO, it will change your life. You know, I've always, all my life, believed in UFOs. I believed in aliens. I've never thought it a strange concept. You know, I've always said, you know, a lot of scientists will say, there's no life in the universe. There's no basis for that. None of the planets are like Earth, etc., etc. But I think that a lot of science really narrows what reality can be. For example, why can't there be a life form that lives on a planet where the air is predominantly acidic? Like they say Venus has acid storms and is too hostile. Well, maybe there's a life form that needs that acid to live. You see, so I think we have to really kind of redefine what we're talking about when we talk about life out there. You know, some of you have also written to me and said, Psychic Bob, I think I've been abducted by an alien. I have a memory that seeps to surface that I remember bits and pieces, and strange markings are on my body. Have I been abducted? Well, I have to be honest. For the people who have truly been abducted, it is life-altering. Now, there are many signs that indicate an abduction. A lot of times is that you'll have missing time. You know, like you might be walking down the street at 10 at night, and by the time you get home, it's 1 in the morning, and you only had to walk 2 blocks. So what happened to 3 hours? You know, that's usually a good indicator. If 3 hours are missing, and you haven't been really drinking and drugging, which I hope you're not, there's a good chance you may have had an abduction experience. Many times when people have an abduction experience, they go back to recount that missing time, and they have what is called a screen memory. And it's believed that a screen memory is something that aliens put in your mind to block your memory. Like you might say, well, I remember walking home from the restaurant. I was a block from my house, and then all I remember is a giant owl swooping down in front of my face and myself blocking against the owl. And then that's all you remember, and 3 hours are gone. Well, that owl that you saw swooping down may not have actually happened. That may have been what they call a screen memory, imprinted in your consciousness or subconscious to block you from accessing the truth of what really happened. Also, many abductees have various marks on their body, such as scoop marks. They'll literally have like a little scoop out of their skin. Sometimes they'll have prong, like 3 or 4, it looks like prong marks right on their arm or on their chest or back or some other area, sometimes on a leg. And it's believed that these are part of various equipments and things that are done as part of the testing. Many people that are abducted have recurring dreams because, you know, our dreams are our link to the subconscious, and the subconscious never forgets anything. So if you've been through an abduction and it's been blocked or suppressed in some way, it may come out in dreams. And a lot of you have written me and said, Psychic Bob, I keep having dreams and it's consistent. I'm always in this aircraft or spacecraft. I'm up on a table. There are people around me doing strange things. And some of you say you can see their faces. Some say it's like I can't see their faces. Again, some of that visionary element may have been screened out by this event. So these dreams, these recurring dreams, the strange marks on the body, these are also signs of alien abduction. And as you know, one of my predictions for 2019 was that this year we will see an increase in alien experiences all over the world. We're going to see more ship sightings, UFOs, more abduction experiences will start to come out. There's going to be a really big awakening this year. And the first few months of 2019, we've already seen an increase. Many UFO reporting sites have increased incredibly strong numbers, increased growth. We're seeing high-profile, prominent people starting to come out and publicly say that they believe in UFOs. So, you know, as I said, you know, and you've heard it said on that show, what was it, The X-Files? The truth is out there. Yeah, the truth is out there. Really, the truth isn't far away. It's really right here. And I think in time, as I said, the American government is going to be forced into a position where it will have to make an admission of disclosure. They will disclose the alien presence. Now, this is still going to be very shocking for many people. And this is why, you know, here at Spirit Channel, I encourage all of you, if you have a belief in this reality, if you know that it's true, help share that message. Help other people to realize that we don't have to be afraid. You know, the space brethren, and that's what I'll call them. I always think alien's a little hostile of a term. The space brothers, the space brethren, if they wanted to take over this earth, they could have done it years ago. Their technology is so vastly superior that they could instantly own the earth. But they choose not to. And the reason is that I believe that most of the aliens, not all of them, but a good number of them, really don't have hostile intent. Now, I know a lot of people have written to me and said, Psychic Bob, those gray aliens scare me, and I think I was abducted by them. Well, I have to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of most of the grays. But that being said, let me tell you, there are like multiple categories. I've heard there are over 35, 40 odd species of grays, and they're all distinctly unique in some way. Now, there's one branch of gray aliens that are the tall gray aliens, and I've talked about them here on my channel before. But the people who have had encounters with them find that they're very intelligent, humorous, friendly, and not at all scary. They seem to be the tall grays. Some of them work with the Pleiadians. Now, the Pleiadians are the alien race that are human. We humans, I believe, are actually Pleiadian. We are the Pleiadians are us. Some people have speculated that the gray aliens, you know, the ones with the big eyes, are also us, but us at a future time. I don't know about that. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I do know that humanity is interconnected with the Pleiadians. Now, people have said to me, well, Bob, you'd mentioned before that back in the 1950s there were Martians and Venusians who were also humanoid. Whatever happened to them? We never hear about them anymore. Well, it's true that the focus in the last 25, 30 years has shifted really to the gray aliens, and I think that's because they're the ones who are being the most, brazen in their presence, revealing their presence, and they're interfering with a lot of humans. So they're getting the most publicity because they're creating the greatest amount of waves. And this is why I said I'm not necessarily sure that the gray alien agenda is in our best interest. That being said, I've heard that the United States government has a treaty with the gray aliens that they're allowed to abduct and explore and experiment on people in exchange for technology, and provided that they provide lists of abductees to the United States government. So if that's true, which I tend to believe it is, that's a whole nother issue. I mean, that's an invasion of privacy and a violation of human rights. But that doesn't mean that all the aliens on the earth that are visiting are bad. As I said, the Pleiadians and the Martians and the Venusians have also visited Earth. Now, it's also been revealed that the people of Mars and Venus are also Pleiadian. The Pleiadians that come from the Pleiades star system have, I believe, seeded life on Earth as well as throughout our solar system. Because within our solar system, you know, our planets of Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, you know, all of our planets in our solar system, all of them pretty much have had life at one point, and the life was humanoid and looked basically like us. So you see, the Pleiadians and the Martians actually are on Earth. They are here. They're walking around amongst us, and they look just like people. They can put on a set of our clothes, and you wouldn't know the difference. So the truth is, don't worry about the aliens coming. They're already here. You know. Now, if you've been abducted by an alien and you're scared, you know, reach out and let's talk about that. You know, maybe you want to send me some pictures of the scars maybe on your body that they've inflicted, because they scoop out skin. You may have scoop marks. You may have the triangle prong marks that sometimes come. A lot of times people get bruises on their body. Sometimes I have sudden nosebleeds, and I've actually had people tell me that they've had nosebleeds and little implants come out of their nose. So the evidence is there. But what I want to tell you is, if you've been abducted, don't be afraid. You're not really going to be harmed. What they've done has traumatized you most likely. But working with a good therapist, a hypnotherapist, can help you open those memories and release them. A lot of people have found that hypnotherapy is very healing, especially in abduction experiences. So there are people who will believe you and support you and help you. And you know, you can always come here to Spirit Channel, because we here, pretty much everybody on our channel, this channel, we're all believers. You know, you can see in the comments, we all support each other. It's a very loving channel and a safe place, and you'll always have my support. Well, guys, listen, I'm going to keep it short today. I have a lot of work to do and readings to do. And by the way, thank you to those who've been reaching out for readings. I am catching up on my emails and phone calls still, because I've been distracted lately. But I will call you and get you on. If you want to get on my schedule for a private reading, I still have openings for this upcoming week. So give me a call. 703-825-3929 is my number, or write to me at my new email, PsychicBobHickman@gmail.com. All of those links will be in the info box below this video. Well, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for looking at my art. You know, tell me in the box below, do you like my paintings? If you don't like them, that's okay too. It's not everybody's style, I know that. But what do you like? Do you like the style? What's your favorite painting of the ones I showed today? And tell me, have you had an experience with a UFO or with aliens? Have you seen a UFO? Have you had an abduction experience? Share your thoughts about that and tell me what your thoughts are. Will the American government disclose to the American public the truth about UFOs? Or is it going to just be Psychic Bob up here every day telling you the truth? Let's hope we get some cooperation. You guys are the best. I love you. We'll see you back here tomorrow. It's Saturday, which means our spiritualist class and seance. You don't want to miss it. Be back here tomorrow. Till then, may you all always blessed be.